scouting the embassy, and a bit of a failed attempt at trying to figure a way through a pretty well-guarded location to sneak their way to getting either pride, honor, or just humiliating the dwarves. Dalmar found himself in a bit of a Looney Tunes situation where he had to avoid alerting the guards, unfortunately failed, avoid getting noticed by the guards, unfortunately also failed, and managed to escape. Failed if it wasn't for the fact that he had that hollow teleportation.
You forgot about the avoid falling on his ass.
That as well.
Also failed.
Failed in all of this while invisible.
While invisible.
He did maintain the invisibility.
But with the helmet teleportation, was able to get out without actually truly being spotted, just alerting the guards at all times that somebody somewhere is invisible and fucking with them in not a fun way. Forcing the party to actually search for Cassius in a much more hands-on manner and a elongated, just drifting on the ground to find a grate for air ventilation towards a small little section off of the building itself, which seemed to be the jail cell of sorts. After managing to get inside, get a visual information, and then doing another one with using the marvelous pigments to paint your way into one of the gratings, using the helmet teleportation to get him out, and making your way the fuck away from the embassy before the dwarves can make any sort of connection to try and hunt you guys down. The conversation on the way back came a lot towards the Astral Shard and what it is that Cassius was doing during his captivity, and what he plans to do right after. To which you all hustle and bustle, walk and talk, just continue to make your way away from the embassy and back towards the smoldering ashes that is his home, where he says that he hid the journal in question in a secondary location to make sure that it would not be found as easily. But it is during that walk on the way back and that rush and hustle and bustle as you guys begin to go into the nighttime. I saw you guys conversing on Discord. Are you going to push through the night?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Who is going to roll me the D20?
Ah, shit.
Fucking I'll do it.
Good deck.
We're gonna let the guy who's been awake less than 20 minutes roll.
Would you rather I roll? Oh.
Could have been worse.
One of those
Yours?
things. Got it.
Could have been better.
Roll me a D10 real quick.
Oh no.
You can. Oh no.
I don't like that.
We're seeing how many giant gorillas attack us.
Oh no!
No, the fucking bees are back.
Bees?
They found us.
Not the bees!
Not
Bees!
It'll be fine. Nothing bad ever happens to the whatever our party's called.
Echoes of the Fallen.
Yep.
That doesn't work for that bit though. Also, are we sticking with that name? That was like
I don't know.
That's totally up to you guys.
Name.
It was just a moment for Trillian to kind of just call you guys and being like, alright, Echoes of the Fallen. He's the only one who realistically knows it.
Yep.
We know what we should do. Every time we do a job, we give them a different name.
No,
I think God. Jack literally brought that up.
So.
I think Jack literally brought that up. I think he even further said that you guys should go to each of the council members to specifically give each of them a different name.
That sounds like something Jack would say.
It sounds like it.
Smarty Pants, you guys come up with fancy names then.
Who said they need to be fancy?
The fuckers.
This is the day you were to. This
Just
is the day
the
you were
fuckers.
arrested by Bob. Just give it like a normal ass human name. We are Bob.
Where's Steve? What does that stand for? Steve.
Eve.
Must be a foreign name of some sorts. But
Oh fuck.
as time goes on and you feel yourselves getting a little bit on the tired side, but wanting to take no chances with the dwarves possibly on the heels of your toes or whatever, pushing through the nighttime, One quick question would be if you guys are going to avoid the patch of dead ground, or if you're just going to go right through it.
Ooh.
How large was it?
It was rather sizable. As far as you guys could see, when it comes to like straight vision, you couldn't see an end to it.
Would we fly over it? Question mark.
I mean, you could.
I think we'd probably do that.
Fly.
I can carry one person and Tensor's disc the other. You have the cloak and Jack has boots.
Yeah, Misha
Could do
can
that.
just turn into... She can turn into other animals. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
she can.
yeah,
She's
we-
been
we-
smaller before. She can't fly, but she could
Yeah.
turn into like a little mouse and like
Okay, yeah.
go
so
in a pocket or something.
we can tell Misha to turn into that. I can carry someone, actually. So I could carry Dalmar. Because we want to get off the ground. Because I think Tensor's is still... is like 5 feet from the ground.
Low-key, as that conversation is kind of going on, Cassius is just staying deadpan silent, just being like, you know, I don't have a wizard book. You know,
Yep.
I can't do magic.
Yep. He's useless right now.
Oh, I know.
Useless? Okay, maybe a little, but he's doing his best.
Cassius can crawl on my back and I can carry Dalmar.
Jack, I can carry someone and you can carry someone.
That forgot you have strength now.
You forgot I was stronger now. That's
I
why I
mean,
was
to
like,
be fair, you are still very scrawny looking.
Yeah.
yeah, which is I think so goofy.
Fucking hilarious. Okay, so yeah, and then Ash flies, you fly. I'll carry Cassius,
gets in
you
a
carry
pocket.
Dalmar. Misha can turn into like a mouse and yeah. Go up my
Okay.
shoulder.
And Ashton, double checking, your wings last for an hour, right?
Yes.
That's more than enough time.
Yeah, and we're gonna probably go about
At a fly speed of 60 feet per round, so.
probably stick somewhere around 30 feet, maybe a little bit less, just so we're not like above the treetops, but also not close to the ground because we don't know what the fuck that shit is down there.
As the night goes on and the darkness begins to really become a massive issue, the only one really suffering in that category being Jack and Cassius, being the only two humans of the party, while the rest of you seem to be able to take this in a much easier time and lead them along. Even the moonlight begins to get shuttered out as dark gray clouds begin to form in the sky and you start to hear strikes of thunder rolling in the air.
And AC/DC playing off in the distance.
You've been thunderstruck!
Oh god, I hope not. That sounds terrible.
Ashrin, Delmar, and Volmar, go ahead and make me perception checks since you guys have dark vision.
Oh. Come on, roll above something this time. Jesus motherfuck!
Would Howard get a roll too? Or does it not matter?
Yes, Howard would get a roll as well. If you're
He's an
having him be
owl
on the
right now,
lookout as
right?
well.
Yeah, he's an owl.
Yeah.
Which I believe would
Howard
give him
is-
an advantage because he has keen sight, no?
Howard
Or-
can see better than I can.
Keen sight, keen hearing and sight. Advantage on perception checks are a lot. Yep.
Something I realize I don't think you've been doing at all.
Nope.
Well, because I didn't
Doesn't
know.
matter, he still rolls like shit.
He's just a bird. He's doing.
He's just
his
a
best.
burb.
He's got a higher
He's
pulse
doing better than
do.
I am.
But as you are darting away across this section, and there is a small bit of wonder as to why you guys are having to do this little charade of flying over the ground, even after explaining to Cassius, he seems a little bit less perturbed on the subject, but at the very least will swallow his pride, given he is already a useless wizard in the current moment. However, during that flyby, even with the pitch black dark, as things get to get a lot more windy, Volmar and Dalmar, there are just these moments that when you're flying over the ground, maybe it's an optical illusion. Maybe it's just the exhaustion maybe getting to you very early. Well, you swear that there are moments that you see the ground sink in, like someone laying down on a waterbed.
Gross.
I don't like that at all.
Does this waterbed follow us at all?
No, it just seems to be in these random little places, and as you're kind of flying past them, you swear you see it, turn your head just slightly, and the effect is already gone.
I'll relay what I'm seeing to the party.
Again, not our problem?
That's probably...
Correction, let's hope it's not our problem.
KTK, are we high enough that we can see the border of where this is?
Angle? Using dark vision? Unfortunately not, because that only goes out 60 feet. And that darkness is getting pitch.
Okay. I was just wondering if we could, like, mark this generalized area on the map.
I can give you a good idea.
Future reference.
I can give you a good idea.
Okay. We don't need to know exactly how big it is, just a general, like, this is where it is, so if we decide we want to go back.
That's the outer.
Ow.
That's the inner.
One thing that confuses me as a player is it's over here now and up here at the same time.
What?
This stuff.
I'd say somewhere in that range.
Okay.
This stuff also showed up because this was like the main plot when I was playing a shaman. Was this stuff, and it was literally up here.
Yep.
Well, we don't know shit about that part.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I'm saying. As a player,
Well, this is a very
shit confuses me.
localized issue. It's not.
So this is just confusing Jack, knowing that this is somehow related.
Because I want to fucking know as a player, because that was a plot that we never got to resolve.
Yeah, that unfortunately fell apart when literally that entire party is gone.
Is there a single character that's in the party now that was there in that point in time?
Nope.
At that point in time, no.
No, the only one who even
Because-
remotely knows about it is Volmer, and it's only because I don't remember how, but
Darren had a vial of the substance on his corpse.
yes.
You swapped characters, Jack swapped characters, Darren
Why did Darren,
left and died.
why did
Yeah.
Darren have file? Because Darren was after? No. Yeah, he was after.
What was the name of the gnome?
Oh, shit.
What was the name of the
Debo?
Sibo?
Sibo?
Yeah, Sibo.
Go. Sibo, yes.
Sibo, yeah, he's gone, sadly.
Yeah. Anyways.
Everyone's favorite artificer.
But yeah, Volmer's the only one in party that has even like a remote touch of knowledge on this, and even then, it was
It's
no longer a
Jesus.
topic that was frontal at that point. But yes. As you fly your way past that section of land, which only takes about 30 minutes or so of flying at a roughly 30-foot speed, as you were able to touch ground, I imagine like 5 minutes after, just to be extra safe and secure. It's only a little bit after that that you start to feel the pouring, bitter cold rain starting to smack upon you all. The crash of thunder and the roaring winds really starting to kick up, as a thunderstorm has begun in the middle of the late fall.
I had a great idea. I want
God,
to
what's your idea?
find a way to attach a spell to a player that doesn't normally attach, and do Wall of Force, and make an umbrella. And just have it follow us.
I mean, I have Wall of Force. I don't have the spell slot, but I have the spell.
Hey, unironically, can you make a wall of force that's just the size of the Tensor's flying disc? And then just put it over your head?
I do not believe.
Oh my god, can you just make an umbrella?
Let's see. Solid surface. It doesn't give a minimum. It's up to 10 feet, but you can make it less.
Yeah, you can make your own.
You can just make a
low-key
wall of
umbrella,
force.
yeah.
But
Umbrella.
technically, my rod, I don't
doesn't
think it
move.
moves. Is
It
the only
doesn't move.
downfall.
But that's what I'm saying, is that if you put it on the Tensor's flying disc, doesn't move.
Then it would
'cause
move with Tensor's flying disc.
That's what I'm saying.
I
I think
mean,
it's still
you're
stationary.
the DM. You
It's
could
stationary.
allow us to make
If
You
you
can
I'm
allow
trying to see
us
if-
to break the rules and
I'm
make an
trying to see what
umbrella.
the wording is on Wall of Force. If it's a stationary spell, or if it's like you put the point and that's where it is.
Let's see here. Full force. It can be floating or resting on a solid surface. You can form it into a surface. It just says you spring it into existence within range.
Okay, so actually, technically speaking, it actually kind of answers in itself. It can be free floating or resting on a solid surface. It doesn't say anything about if the solid surface is moving, it will also move. You can actually make it either or. You can make it a Looney Tunes wall of force like a fucking mime, or you can stick it on the wall and have it move with the wall.
It's so dumb.
Wait, so if you're like in ship-on-ship combat, could you attach it to the enemy, like the side of the enemy's ship, so when they fire cannons, it like...
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. One of the biggest reasons I got this spell is because I want us to do something similar. I want to just drop a wall of force in front of a boat.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm amazed you didn't bring that up. I'm amazed you didn't bring up just wall of force in front of a boat and watch it just...
Okay, but Wall of
Sandwich
Force
those.
umbrella is great.
Yeah. Or you can wall force on your side too, so then they can't like blow up your
What a
mast.
fucking spend of a 5th level spell.
I was in a campaign once, and I joined late, and the DM, to Jack, this was one of Casey's
The
campaigns.
druid one, yeah.
Yeah, and he asked me what I wanted to play. I'm like, I don't know, just hand me something. And he's like, all right. So he hands me an NPC, and he's like, I'll just make another NPC. All right, fine. He hands me this aquatic druid, and I ended up in one session sinking an entire fleet of boats with the spell Warp Wood. I just swam under the boats and warped the keel of the ships. And with a little bit of homebrew, he allowed me to actually break the keels of the ships with the spell. Because he thought it was a cool idea. He's like, yeah, I'll allow you to break it.
Yeah,
So he's like,
that's awesome.
Cool. And every round, cool. Ship sunk. Next round, I sink a ship. Next round, I sink a ship.
Very nice.
Love it.
But after passing the patch of dead land, and now making your way through the rain in the middle of the night, I need everyone, Asher when she gets back, to make a Constitution saving throw.
With
Awesome.
a +3.
I'll come do it right now.
Awesome!
Oh, Volmer.
Late nights in the library have not helped with late nights.
Ashton's got that stamina.
I'm a sturdy son of a bitch.
She needed that +3.
Everyone else is who?
Ooh.
I rolled a 4. Holy fuck. And I got a 17 still.
As the night goes on and you all feel the beating rain and the cold burrowing into you, while the most of you are able to hold out for the time being, it's only the first night and you need to get away as fast as possible. Volmer and Cassius. Cassius is a little more understandable. He's been a prisoner for the past month and doesn't exactly have that much of a resistance. But Volmer, maybe not too used to going without tiny huts throughout the entire night, as you earn yourself a point of exhaustion.
What's which one does this do?
This one just makes, I think, checks be a pain in the ass. I forgot that Misha apparently had exhaustion on her for some reason. Yeah, ability checks are at disadvantage.
I just need to
All
find how
ability
to
checks.
mark that on my character sheet.
Beneath your health, there's conditions. Add active conditions,
Oh,
and exhaustion is
there
at
you
the bottom.
Thank you.
Okay, only 5 more and you die.
I'm assuming we aren't pulling an all-nighter for a week, though, so...
I would hope not. seeing as the next day appears and the thunderstorm continues to roll in on you all. A brutal and unforgiving rainfall that almost seems to turn a bit into hail a couple of times, which is how cold the temperature gets throughout the night.
Dunbar, roll 1d3.
Oh yeah, for the helm,
Okay.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Just to know how many charges y'all have.
If it's a 4, I'm just gonna reroll.
It's a 4.
There you go,
Nice.
fair enough.
All 3.
All 3 charges, you guys are good.
God.
On the second day, pushing through this rainfall, who is going to roll the d20? That is not Jack.
I will. Natural 20. You. Who's saying natural 20 is a joke?
Get D100 real quick.
Nah, this is where I roll 100 and get a second crown. Okay, but could you imagine?
25.
Could you imagine we get a second one of these crowns? We eventually get like everyone has.
That'd be fucking maddening.
That'd be fucking great, though. No, just
Fireball
+3
for a
shield.
free turn of invincibility on the whole party.
No, we just need to find a Holy Avenger. There we go.
Pushing through the rainfall and the brutal cold of Borisland itself. As you guys are traveling, and it's about a little bit after midday is when you make it towards the actual river of the main road itself, where you're able to follow it once more. It's a little bit late in the afternoon, to which you guys, feeling yourselves nearing that point of possibly getting another rest, though that's up to you guys, that it becomes no issue to see somewhere in the mud and dirt of the area that Dalmar and Volmer are able to notice that there is some very harsh indents in there. Seemingly a cart that may or may not have deviated in a not so poignant way.
Gonna go take a look.
I'll go with him.
Yeah.
And Asher just needs to go like, wait, what?
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Y'all just gonna leave me here with the dog and the wizard without a spellbook?
Do you
They're all
want to come with us?
stand
Okay.
It's like 10 feet.
I'm gonna have Howard land on her head, so that way she.
I swear to God, Volmer, if you're
Perch on
going
one of the
on
horns.
me,
I was gonna say around the horn. But as those who choose to follow the tracks of this seemingly unfortunate accident of the cart, it is about a 10 or so minute detour off of the river itself, off the main road, before you're able to see it. Seemingly a cart that has been deviated by one way or another and has been completely left abandoned, just turned on its side. And you can notice that there are several bits of arrows and slashes and such all across the wood and the garments that would have been the curtains to keep it safe.
So I'm assuming that there's nothing on the cart.
You don't know?
Want
Could
to just hit,
Jack, what do you want to do? Before I
want to just
say
hit a
something?
detect magic real quick?
Okay, I'll start ritual casting detect magic. I was gonna say like, oh, weapon historian things. Can I identify like, oh, what is this? Goblins? Is this something else?
Could make a... For you, just straight intelligence in that instance.
At disadvantage, right? Oh well, I failed.
Yeah, unfortunately so disadvantage as you do have a point of exhaustion on you. But you kind of hard to focus in the moment with the rain beating down, the thunder in the air, and you kind of just wanting to rest with Tiny Hut a little bit. Ritual casting detect magic, and you do get a small ping. Nothing too much, just a very faint and weak ping.
What?
Somewhere in that cart.
What school?
That one would be evocation.
Oh, great! We're gonna check under the card. It's gonna be Fireball. Let's do this.
Okay. I'm just gonna fly down real fast and just look inside.
I thought we were out of the diseased area, aren't we?
He's just flying to avoid it if there's any traps on the ground.
Or
Oh,
slipping and falling on my ass since I'm
Yep.
in full plate.
I can very easily determine why Jack is doing that.
Yeah, like...
But, go ahead and give me a quick perception check. With 16, looking inside, you don't see any signs of life, at the very least in the current moment. With a quick glance and trying to look in to see, maybe you could identify what is going on here for just a slight bit of quick information. Whatever did this, or whatever humanoid did this, seemed to have done a rather sloppy work. Mostly just due to the fact that, more than likely, whoever was in here had a chance to get out before they were slaughtered. There's no blood. There's no sign of anything, really. Just seems like this thing was attacked, and then possibly dragged here via some additional means.
Any, like, merchandise, like, gold, anything like that?
On that point, it seems to have been picked clean.
Hey, Volmer, where's the magic at?
I would point it out too. Can I like use a mage hand and point out specifically from his
Easily.
position? Like, yeah.
It seems to be beneath the floorboards of what would have been the inner cabin.
Fuck it. Let's pull up the floorboard. See if I can see what this is.
Easy enough digging your hand into that already cracked and sundered wood. As you pull it apart, you see that there's this small little stone. Barely the size of your thumb. Barely. It looks unassuming. Nothing seems special about it in any which way that you could tell.
Fuck it. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
Nothing happened?
Not that you could think of, or feel, or aware of.
Delay blast fireball as I get back to the group. Alright, I'll grab it and be like, is this it, Volmer?
You can see that it does, in fact, give off that small little radiant evocation.
That is it. I would say toss it over so I can identify it, but let's not toss the evocation item over.
Yep, nope. I'm gonna fly back over and let's get the fuck out of here, because I don't want to deal with whatever caused all this.
I'm gonna start ritual casting identify while we walk away.
Alrighty.
You almost have a free card.
No.
Could try
Are you
repairing
gonna-
it.
Are you gonna pull it?
I'm character for that.
If I could just mending and pull it, that could actually. I don't have.
It'll take a while. It'll take a very long while.
We're good. We just keep going.
But I'm progressing through the rest of the afternoon and casting identify on this little stone. It's hard to call this much of anything beyond some sort of tracking beacon of sorts. The evocation is nothing more than a constant communication with some other end. And not even in a verbal kind, just literally whatever this thing is doing is trying to communicate with an opposite side.
Can we tell?
Great, we got a Palantir.
Right? Can we tell, like, anything about, like, where this information's going?
Not with an identify.
Identify with the orb.
I was gonna say try to scry with the magic rock and see what you see with the magic rock using the scry.
We see ourselves.
Well, I mean... Or you see what the rock is connected to.
And I don't fuck with you.
identify with the orb. It gives information on how this is a tracking beacon of sorts. Allows the opposite user to know your location at all times while it's being held by it. And it would say that it was commissioned by a man by the name of Osigos. Within Slaloof itself.
Oh, in case someone stole the cart. He would know where the fuck it was. Were they hidden in the floorboards?
Do we ditch it?
Yeah.
Put it back in the cart.
We're like 10 minutes away from that.
You would kind of see Kasai's kind of like look at you all and kind of actually acknowledging the group for once during this entire little bit of travel. Kind of perks out, goes, "That's the wrong end. That's the one being tracked. And I don't mean a cart.
What?
Consider it a babysitting device."
What?
Time for Volmer to eat the stone?
At a game,
He's saying
I didn't understand.
He's saying we're being
I'm
tracked, pretty sure.
confused.
Yeah, we're being tracked with this.
Yeah,
that's what we were saying.
The stone was being tracked in case the cart was stolen. That's
It's
what
not
I thought.
tracking the cart. It's tracking the person.
Well, yeah. 'Cause
Wait, this isn't the receiver. This is. Wait, is it the transmitter or the receiver?
It's the receiver, but it wasn't meant for some dingy old cart.
Oh,
It's
I
meant
get
to
it
keep
now.
track of the person riding the cart.
I get it now. Okay, Hoyer was dumb.
okay, yeah, general.
So wait, if the person was important enough for something like this,
Meh. I mean, at this point in time,
If you didn't find their corpse, consider it the
Probably been
worst.
eaten.
alright, so we're gonna make a makeshift sling and just
Pretty
yeet the fucking
far
stone.
how far?
Anybody
can
have
Volmer throw this,
catapult?
realistically?
damn far. How far can you throw a pebble with a good yeet?
Yeah. Like, and make a sling your 3 times
Yeah.
in normal throw range. Like,
Do I have a sling? I might.
I don't think we have the stuff to make a sling.
I don't
literally-
think
You
anybody
need is a
has
piece
a
of
sling, but
cloth.
it's not that. Yeah, it's just cloth, a little bit of either flexible wood, and then rope.
yeah, you literally can make just a
You
strip
could
of
just
cloth.
make it with a strip of cloth, wrap it up
Yeah.
in the cloth, and just whip it.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned kind.
The only reason you'd want that wood is literally just so it has that little bit more force, but that's literally not even necessary.
Yep. We're just gonna get this thing the fuck out of here. Because I don't want some random person tracking us just in case. Or,
I like the idea that you think it's random. I said babysitting device.
I mean,
Who
it's
would you
not a-
babysit?
Either way,
Hirelings?
we don't need it.
If Fen was here, so I could say Fen.
I mean, she's not here, so you can say that exactly.
Let's go find the person who has the other end of this and be like, yeah, your dude's dead. Can we have the other piece so we can keep track of our party members?
We have 2 people that were kidnapped. We need this.
What happens if we feed it to Frankie? Do we just have a constant track on Frankie?
Yes.
We tipped the dog.
Yes.
Chip the dog.
Yes. Yes.
That's fucking great.
Obviously, does that mean we're keeping it then?
I would honestly rather not. I mean, having a tracker on us at all times, 24/7, does not feel like a good idea.
Yeah, no. We've had enough trackers on us at all times.
There's
I don't
a
want
tracker
another
in your
one.
fucking head already.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
tracker
I
in his
know.
head, there's a tracker in his soul, and he himself is a tracker.
And then when Corvais was here, there was another fucking tracker.
So let's not add more to that list. Let's get rid of this shit.
Yeah.
So you're yeeting Deletus the stone.
Yeetus the fetus.
Can we throw it in the lake?
There is no lake, but there is a river.
Or river, sorry. Meant
Yeah.
to say river.
Pump
Easily
that
enough,
shit
you are
in the
able to
river.
just kind of, just drop it in the river for
We're skipping stones.
whoever this OC ghost is now going to be on a bit of a wild goose chase to search for this stone along the river water.
If we really want to be assholes, we could have put it in something that floated.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Just floated down the fucking river.
You know what
It
we
will
should
literally
have done?
eventually go to the ocean and never be found.
I should have given it to Howard and had him fly it back.
Also a possibility. But in either case, as the second night, and with you approaching the village very soon after, as you do watch as Cassius and Volmer does start to get a little bit heavy in breath. Do you continue to push through the night, or do you take a rest?
You said, like, we have the village in sight?
It is within less than half a day's travel.
You said Cassius is looking like he's out of breath.
Same with Volmer, as both of them have a point of exhaustion.
Are y'all good, or do we need to stop?
I have been tortured for a month. I'm fine.
Insight
I'll
check.
survive
Is
Make an
this
insight
bitch
check.
fine?
I will survive too, just maybe a bit slower.
Hard to tell. The man's as stoic as ever.
All right, if you say so. But if you drop dead on me, that's not on me. That's on you.
Pushing through the night. Everyone make me Constitution saving throws.
Ooh, buddy.
Okay.
13,
Much better for
18,
you.
25.
I do have a
24.
13 to con.
He has proficiency, and then he gets a free +3 because he is his paladin thing. Gives him the +3.
20 con, proficiency, the +3, and then I have the ring that gives +1 to all my saves. Top of all that.
With that +3 in aid of Jack, no one this night gets that point of exhaustion as pushing through until eventually, once the morning sun comes upon the cresting horizon, you start to see the clouds finally clearing up after a full days and a half of just pure, brutal, pushing rain. Alongside the site of the sundered village in question, ashes and all. Not too long for you guys to travel towards it now. Now, as each of you make that final push, most of you still perfectly fine, while Volmer and Cassius grateful to catch a breath upon arriving towards that location. Dalmar kind of a little bit getting towards that side as well. But arriving at the old village that once housed people and no longer does. After catching his breath, you do see Cassius instantly just go to what was the rubble of his home. Take a quick glance at it. Take a deep breath. Instantly turn around and with mage hand about 20 or so feet away into the ground itself, where you see a section of just grass, or what little bit of grass there is in this area, lift up with a section of dirt. Small little box just hidden in the ground itself, that unless looking for, would never be assuming in any which way. You watch him reach in there and he grabs 2 books. One of them looking to be one more personal hand journal, one to be a wizard spell book.
Oh, he's
And
got
a
a spell
scroll.
book. I was gonna offer him mine.
You'd be a
Dear
fool
spell book with one spell.
if you never make a copy.
Do you need another one? Because like I have this and
You
like
have one spell in there.
I do. I have one spell in there. I can't use it.
If I may be so bold to ask, what spell you have within there?
Chaos Bolt.
I'm good.
He's like, fucking plebeian.
I mean, okay, the fact that I was able to transcribe a spell in there and cast from it was pretty cool.
She's not a wizard. I will make that known. She's not a wizard.
Yeah, something of note that I've noticed without the lack of a spellbook. Where? You inscribed it.
Nope, she did. I taught her.
did.
Make a
Do you
persuasion
want to see
check.
what... Me?
Yes.
With advantage, because Volmer's helping me?
Because I am going like, yeah, I taught her.
Sure. There is a long, hard, some would even say brutal gaze in Kasaya's as he looks at you at that information. Like, there's just so much he just refuses to believe. But if another wizard is, like, pushing for it, he's like, why would a wizard, especially an elf, stake his own honor on saying a sorcerer scribed a spell? A level 1 spell
fair,
at that.
He has not even seen me cast anything. As
No, he has
far as
not.
he knows I can't do magic.
He has not, but he's also not seen you hold a wizard spellbook or any sort of the kind.
So,
Do you want to?
chaotic.
Do you want to
when
see
she
what
casts
happens
on it.
when I cast the spell?
I'd much rather not experiment with that in the current time.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna
Pretty
point to the
chaotic
other
book.
book that he had. Is that the notebook Lure was talking about?
Indeed, the journal in question.
Mind if I hold on to that?
No, because I'm going back to my old comrade as of this moment.
We're all gonna go together.
Yeah, we're all going together. I just feel more
Jack,
comfortable.
he's worried you're gonna grab the book and dip.
You do see him kind of look at you all a little bit confused in that statement. You're gonna return with me.
Yeah.
Was your mission not to simply get the journal back to Lur?
Yes,
mean-
well, it wouldn't be very nice to leave you behind, now would it?
Yeah.
Plus, with one casting away, he looks over at Dalmar with the helmet.
Not to mention, Lur's kind of a friend and he has good tea, so it's always nice to drop in on him.
Not all that used to. Adventurers showing some honor and seeing things through the end.
I mean, we always try, especially when it's people we actually like and care about.
Well, I fully thought Dalmar was just gonna fucking teleport mid-conversation.
Mid-conversation! Alright, let's go, guys!
He leaves alone, comes back, uses two charges off the rip.
No, I thought he was just taking us with him, just like bum bum bum, mid-convo teleport without warp. It would. I don't know why, but that feels like something Dalmar would do.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're ready to go? Okay,
Hey.
poof!
The only reason why I want to hold on to the book is because just in case he's not willing, we'd all teleport and he'd be not there with us.
Ooh, good point.
I mean, with how they have fallen out with each other, I wouldn't be surprised if he bolted like that. But like, that's just
But like,
my-
he also knows that he's basically dead if he doesn't. So
Once he can teleport somewhere else and he lets us go and then bamps off.
something tells me if he could teleport somewhere else, he wouldn't be in this mess.
He didn't have his spellbook with him.
After he was captured because they took it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just
That's
look at
interesting.
because I asked me like I'd feel better if I could hold on to the book, please.
I would feel better if I have my old colleague's book as well.
God damn it. Okay. let's just... Do you need anything else from here?
He looks over to the smoldering ash of his home.
I just kind of
think
like
I'm good.
look at the ground, like where the trapdoor. Nothing down there.
Not anymore.
Okay. Let's go.
We watch him open up the book, and between some of the pages, he pulls out a folded up piece of paper that he unfolds and unfurls to be a spell scroll that he just purposely held within the book.
What is that?
Scroll of teleportation.
Oh,
Oh,
save it.
we have a helm.
We can
If you're willing to spend the resources. He folds it back up into his book.
And also, I don't know how. Okay, so here's this because I want Ashrin to put it in her notes as the player.
Yep.
But
Okay.
the character doesn't know what he's going to do with this information.
I like the idea that he's literally doing this on a one-on-one with Astrid to be like, write this in your journal.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what to do with this, but write this in your journal.
Well, Dalmar, whenever you're ready, let's get back.
We
to
have an
Lord.
item from there. What do we have from there again? A dagger?
I think a dagger? I know you guys do.
I think it's a dagger because I think that's where the joke of like
The joke of a dagger for every city, yeah.
Yep. Because I know I have a dagger for fucking Gabbington.
Yeah.
We need to like get a bandolier.
It's this
for
party's
knives.
fridge magnet, it's just a fucking dagger.
Exactly.
It's like collecting the spoons from places, except
Yes.
for we collect
That's a
daggers.
thing.
Oh,
Yes!
yeah.
It is a thing. I don't understand it either, but it is a thing.
My
My
grandma-
family does magnets.
My grandma used to
My
collect
family
spoons.
does magnets too.
We had a lot of cool spoons.
My family does magnets, and I've met people who do picture frames for amusement parks.
Plates and spoons were like two really big ones.
As Damar using the helmet teleportation in order to teleport you all back to the familiar shop. Or at least, quick question, are you going to go inside the shop or just outside? Just a quick point of clarification.
Ouch.
Always go
Just
outside.
outside the front door.
Okay.
Yes, you gotta be courteous.
I was going to say, it's like, you're just going to go, hey, we're here, or are you at least going to knock on the door?
We don't want to give
Again,
the old man a
Dalmar.
heart attack.
No.
The question is, would Dalmar in character think that through?
I feel like he would. That's why I'm kind of asking.
There you go, Volmer. I shared some pictures of spoons so that you can see them.
Surprise, motherfucker! Just
That
teleport.
reminds me of the time my mom broke a table playing spoons.
Oh my god, Spoons is a violent game.
My mom broke a table.
I played Spoons. I went to a youth group at the Mormon church here in town, and the girls were all playing Spoons, and I wasn't playing, and I was sitting there, and I reached up and grabbed a spoon just for funsies, and I swear to God, it almost came to fist. It was tense.
I'm shocked it didn't come to fist.
But
Okay.
Spoons
making
is a
your way
violent game.
back and teleporting just outside the humble little home of what used to be a astronarium of sorts, able to knock on the door
Cassius
and
is
eventually
with
being
us, right?
met. Huh?
Cassius is with us, right?
He is.
Okay.
Knock on the door, and eventually you do have the door open by Lair himself. As you see him kind of look at you all a little bit, has to lean down a little bit in the doorway from his height. Hello. Come in. As he just steps aside for you guys to go inside.
Thank you,
I
Larry.
love him so much.
He's just robot buddy. He's our row buddy.
He saved my life, okay?
And as you guys all make your way inside,
voice, so I like him.
You do see as Lure's beginning to make his way downstairs with his cane, slow as ever. Lair just seemed to be closer in the moment. And as the door closes and you see Lure kind of take in the visage, you almost instantly see his eyes lock on to Cassius.
We got a bit more than the book.
Yes. I was expecting not all of my memories to return.
We had a rescue mission?
But there's no question mark there. We had a rescue mission.
Yeah, the Keeley Empire kidnapped him.
You confirmed that information, I see.
Yeah.
Looks like the Keeley Empire is trying to make another astral shard.
You see him halt his step on the stairwell itself. That is unfortunate. Before he continues again.
Is he okay? Or is this different old person stuff, or is this just normal old person stuff? Is he okay?
Make an insight check.
Has he had like a heart attack?
Step ahead of you. Hold on.
Broke.
His life alert broke yesterday.
You instantly noted the shift change when he saw Cassius, and you can just see it. There is a lot processing, and he is just trying his best to not let it slip, but it's not exactly that well of a job done.
Okay.
Just because they're both old, Jack's just going to be like, okay, 5 points lay on hands on Cassius, remove disease. Do that twice. Just in case, and later on he'll do the same thing to Lure.
But eventually, with Lure making it down the spiral staircase, and Lair having already gone to prepare some tea for the entire party, you do watch him as Lure himself does kind of gesture towards the table. Sit. Sounds like there's quite a lot to speak of.
Yeah. Sorry to spring this on you. Not exactly what you asked for, but situation deemed it necessary.
I just hear sheep.
Yeah. Part of the background stuff.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's part of the background.
Okay.
But Lure doesn't exactly answer. Like, he acknowledges the statement, but he doesn't fully answer it. As he just makes his way to the table with you all to take a seat. And Cassius as well also takes a seat silently and wordlessly. Before he just kind of places the journal and just slides it over to Lure.
And I seems paranoid, even for Dalmar. I want to sit next to Cassius.
Okay.
He seems paranoid, so I'm gonna sit next to him and make it work.
Yeah, in case I have to protect Lure from Cassius.
Cassius doesn't seem paranoid. Dalmar feels like this is paranoid, even for Dalmar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's me, and I'm like, did they fuck? Is this an underlying, like, ancient sexual tension? They were together, and then they broke up, and now they're like, what is this?
And they were roommates.
Yes!
Well, between what Dalmar got with the insight earlier, of there being old scars of betrayal, and then Lure's like, oh shit, there he is, and I'm like, okay, got it.
They were roommates.
Lure from Cassius getting revenge for something, so I'm gonna sit next to him in case I have to mage slayer the bitch.
Like, who broke up with who, and why are they upset about it? And I need to know. There's drama here.
My God.
Well, speaking of...
Wait. So, Did Lur take the kid in that's lair?
Oh no! He got custody of the child!
Oh my god. That's so dumb. That's so funny.
But as Kasai slides over the journal to Lur, you do see him kind of look at it with a hard eye. Any alterations I should be very aware of? You just see Kasai just shake his head. I wouldn't disrespect you like that. Yes, of course you respect me. Of course.
Hey, man. I.
Cutting the sexual tension with a knife.
Yeah, it's there, man.
And as Lair comes by with the cups of tea for you all to partake in yourselves, as Lur instantly takes a sip to try and calm his own nerves. As he looks to you all, he goes, I do still need to thank you for your successful endeavor. I take it with the haste of speed of which you have returned, that you have put your own priorities aside for my own, and I am very grateful for that.
We'll be heading back shortly.
Yeah.
Of course.
We just wanted to make sure your friend got back safe.
Yeah. I mean, we had to thank you for taking care of Misha for us. You know, this is the least we could do.
Returns are full.
Exactly.
In that case, if I may be so bold in asking, and he looks to Cassius directly for the first time. This is just a short visit, or is this a desperation move of sorts? My house has been burned asunder. Desperation, then.
Yo, buddy, I don't have a house. Can I move in with you?
I know it's been years since the breakup, but I've
You're
changed.
the only person I have to go to.
I've changed, I promise.
To which you would see kind of Cassius break the silence himself next. Keely knows what we were up to. There's a reason they sought me out. You're protected by a council. Our comrades that remain are protected by one mean or another. You knew this day would come. Why you made yourself a target? Aye. That's why I'm here to warn you. That we're all targets now. You may be a fool, but I know you don't give up names easily. He kind of just glances at everybody at the table. I mean to bring down the mood with what is happening here. How much are you aware of what it is Keely is involved with?
We know bits and pieces. We know that they've delved up probably some ancient tech?
Something top secret. No one can find out.
Something that resembles a dragon. We know that now that they're trying to recreate the Astral Shard, they are hiring the top tinkering families across the world to create things for them, like flying ships and stuff. It seemed they were doing something off the coast that was causing a massive whirlpool, which may be where this dragon-like thing came from, possibly, I don't know. But they had that whole thing cordoned off, and weren't expecting any ship coming anywhere near. Sounds like Keely's getting ready for war.
When it isn't it getting ready for war?
Indeed,
But you're not wrong.
unfortunately. To which you would see Kasai's kind of like lean in onto the table. It's from the Age of Chaos. You know they have someone in Keely that's capable of working with it. He would never. Won't stop them. I'm coming to ask for one last partnership.
You know, one more night.
Exactly are you asking from this partnership? A sacrifice, even? No. I'm asking that you give me an opportunity. Not to make amends, but maybe. There is a depth of silence, almost choking in the air. Until Lur's the one who actually breaks in, kind of goes, there's a lot to speak about. If you all would like to depart without hearing the tale of a sad old man and his history.
I want to hear the drama.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear it too. I mean...
Yeah, you think so?
I mean, Lur's the one from the position of strength at the moment.
At the moment.
You do see Cassius, though. He kind of takes a breath in that moment, and he looks to Volmer. He goes, unironically, or perhaps it's fate, the gods playing an ironic joke upon us. To think we met a comrade's bloodline in this method. To which even Lur looks to Volmer, confused.
They know your grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
You mean my grandfather, I presume?
Would your grandfather by any chance be an archmage of sorts?
Yes. Yes. Would you... Volmer's like getting visibly tense. Would you perhaps know Yelden?
That's the one you see kind of Lure, almost that tension, not exactly go away, but there's almost this breaking point. To which he looks to the side and goes, he would never, in any existence, ever, continue that work. I know. But Keely is very aware of what we did.
He worked on the shard too.
You see them both kind of look at each other in that moment. Aye, he worked on it. I told you to take a group of people that have more than enough magical capability to create one. Tell me, how much has your grandfather told you of the Astral Sea?
How much has he told Volmer? Out of character.
Almost nothing.
I figured as much.
In fact, that sending that we did in between is the closest he's ever gone to actually directly mentioning the Astral Sea. He almost seems deliberate in avoiding it all his time teaching you.
Grandpa ain't telling you shit.
Literally.
This is like finding out that your grandfather was a fucking Nazi general or something like that.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's more similar to finding out he worked on the atom bomb.
Kinda, yeah, that'd probably be a better accurate.
The
Yeah.
Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's a Nazi scientist. Got it.
I mean, he really is just World War II Germany.
Oh my god.
I love how we all have different interpretations of Keely as
They're all along the same lines, but they're so off.
Because like
So
Asher says
Oppenheimer
Germany,
is
Jack
what
says
I'm getting
America,
at.
I say China. Like,
Hey, that's the point of D&D.
anyways, he's never brought it up directly, even when I warned him earlier.
That's
that
no
boy
shocker.
fucking-
After what we've been through. Have you told them anything about it? Of course not. That's knowledge that's better dying off with us. As well, if someone's blood is tied to this situation, it may be better that they're aware of it to a certain extent. If you want to share, you share the tale. I'm sure you'd appreciate your perspective more than mine. On that, we can agree on.
Tension here is very thick.
They've so dated. You about to say
They've
they
so
dated.
fucked.
They did.
It's so thick.
Late
Ugh.
night, tensions
Giggity.
are high from the work on the project. They're stressed. They need the
Yeah, no, they definitely fucked.
They're fucked.
Oh my god.
In our younger years, somewhere in our 30s, if you want to put an accurate term to it, we discovered a island off the southern seas. One that contained several bits of old magics that have long since died out. However, what did not die was the rituals in which they scribed down. One of them was for the Astral Shard. It took many years of work and much collaboration between many bright minds. And several of us began to question as to how it is such a civilization could die out even in the age of chaos, with such capabilities as the Astral Shard itself. However, what became very known was that several of these notes were inscribed in code. A code that unfortunately none of us were able to speak. Except for a single individual. And he just looks daggers at Cassius. Relying on faith and working together to solve what it is that we were going to do, we sought the brightest minds. And while the Keeley Empire wasn't exactly someone that we wished to work with, there was one individual in there that was, unlike many others, forthright and honest of their work.
My grandpa.
Yadrin was a good man. Elf, if you wish to prefer me in this manner. He made great strides, and Keeley offered a great amount of support. What wasn't known to the rest of us was the betrayal that was going to come upon the ritual's success. What we thought was needed a large area for a circle in order to draw as much energy as possible was unknowingly a target of sorts. One of which had fresh sacrifices delivered to its center. Upon completion of the ritual, and us hearing the everlasting wailing screams of lives that were sacrificed to this small stone of unknowable power, many of us agreed to destroy it. Of course, the success in doing so was questionable at best. And so it was decided that one of us was to hold on to the Astral Shard. And you know that I fought for you to hold it. You fought for me to hold the curse of knowledge, of awareness that what I held in my possession was souls, damned for eternity. Along with our own, if I may add. You were in the safest position. We sent it to Yadrin, and he would be in the hands of Keely. Eventually they'd find it. I'm not calling you a fool, I'm calling you a bastard. In the end, many of us went our separate ways, and all of us vowed to never allow the knowledge slip through again. Yadrin assured us he'd report that it was a failure, and that the project went up in flames, in order to keep Keely off of its heels. But unfortunately, after 50 long years, it seems a dwarf's lifespan far outweighs that of a human as much as their memory. And now, you will have to go back to him in order to ascertain as to whether or not this project will continue without him. As he looks at Cassius. You know damn well he's going to kill me if he ever sees me again. Aye, so I expect you to speak quickly before he takes your life.
Oh.
Wait. Why would Volmer's grandpa kill Thias?
Because he's the one who fired on the target. If
He
I understand correctly.
was the one who knew lives would be lost.
And
And-
did it anyway.
Further the point, not only did he go through with it without revealing the information to any of us, he tricked every last one of us in making expansive size circle. That way none of us would be able to witness the sacrifices at the center of it. Not until the screams filled our heads.
One question. Were these innocent lives?
I was assured that they were worthy waste of space. If that makes any consolation to you all.
How many?
I asked them for 50. To make our scars as minimal as possible.
Now it just comes down to what is Keely's ideology on a waste of space.
It was not Keely that which I requested this from. We had our fingers in multiple locations.
Oh wait, I'm confused. Cassius was the one who knew, or Volmer's grandfather was the one who knew?
Cassius.
Caius knew.
Cassius knew. Okay.
Yes. He was the only one who could speak the code, or language of code that
made
apparently
sense,
the journal was
but
made.
then I understood it the wrong way and I was
Yeah.
confused.
That's why he was able to keep that information from everyone, because they had to go on his word on how this worked.
Okay.
So he
Volmir
told
is
them
just-
this has to be a massive circle so we can take in as much spatial energy, when in fact he was just hiding the fact that at the center of the circle was sacrifices.
Gotcha.
The only way I even find this
Volmir.
acceptable is if the people sacrificed were the worst of the worst, murderers. Stuff like that.
I can neither
Volmir
confirm nor
is-
deny.
Sorry, you first.
I can only go on the word of faith that what Cassius is saying is that whoever he asks to offer these lives were worthy sacrifices. If you ask me, or if you ask Yaldrin, There's no such thing as a worthy sacrifice.
Volmir is visibly staring daggers into. He's not saying anything or doing anything, but it looks like he wants to stab the old man.
I'm gonna give Dalmar kind of a look, and then I'm gonna ask Cassius. These people that were sacrificed, you were told that they deserve to die?
To the best of my knowledge. I'm no fool. I know my comrades would never accept such a thing. Unless otherwise they were people that the world was better off without. And he seems forthright. He seems poignantly honest in that instance. Almost scarily so, that he's saying that it was only because his comrades weren't willing to sacrifice life. There's a distinct lack of care towards those lives in his voice.
What gives you the right?
It doesn't. Okay.
What gives you the right not only to hide such an important detail of such a ritual from your colleagues, but then to write it off as if you had the right to decide if a life was worth sacrificing for this? Some things are not worth it.
We put nearly a decade into that project. I was not going to let all of my colleagues' time go to waste. If we were going to see this through the end and accomplish our goal, I was going to see that everyone proved their mettle, proved their worth, proved their knowledge. At the cost of our friendships.
I mean, the only acceptable thing for the lives were condemned to death anyways. At that point in time, it's just the matter of execution. But that wasn't the case then. That's fucked up.
We need to step outside. Volmir's just gonna walk out.
Lure would perk up. Even so, we do not leave without paying a certain price. If you take my own statement of our own souls are condemned as well, don't think that when we pass on, you'll get an opportunity to see any of us again without traversing to the astral. And you see him just like poignantly say that while staring directly at Cassius.
Explain.
You do not reach into the astral and expect to not come back with something in return. And if you take something from the astral, it stays with you. When one of our comrades passed, some years ago, the last time we ever spoke with each other, we attempted to see what it is that he was tortured for. However, attempting to reach out to his essence, his soul, if you so wish to put it as, proved false. Something had already taken it. And that scar that I spoke of, let's just say that it wasn't subtle anymore. We will not be part of this cycle of reincarnation. We will not go with the gods. We will be lost to the sea.
I mean, a god could still claim your soul, but probably have to be extremely difficult.
Lur would perk up. The gods fear the astral as much as they fear the divine deities of the hells. There's a reason none of the divinity wishes to speak upon it, and there's a reason why we failed in ascertaining the dangers. If we could not bring them back with even a revivify spell, or resurrection by any means, I fear that whatever we reached out to gain our little stone is beyond even them.
You guys attempt for resurrection?
Wish to risk bringing back something that wasn't our colleague.
Ha 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 ha. That
Oh,
reminds
shit.
me. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah. We know someone that's happened to. Remember, Essig?
Unfortunately so, the young man whom you say orchestrated the attack upon my home.
He was more of a pawn, but, he had a similar incident where he reached into the astral and shattered his soul in his mind, and when was pieced back together with the ring, and I'll kind of point to Ashran's hand.
Is it on my hand?
You can make it invisible if you want to at any time.
I'm the one who still has it.
I think you're the last one
I
to
think
have it.
you have it. I don't know if you're
Hold on.
attuned to it.
Yeah.
I do indeed have Morris. Yes, I am
Yes.
wearing Morris.
Okay.
I renamed him.
Yeah. Something else came back with him, and Essig's, well, his real name is Mars. His brain or soul or whatever is in that ring, and the other thing is in his body.
You see them both instantly look at each other. Are you meaning to tell us that he traversed the astral and came back with something?
Yes.
And that something now is traversing in his body.
Yes.
Yep.
He
Son of a bitch
also-
to kill too.
What was that?
Son of a bitch to kill too.
Yeah, he did kill me at one point in time.
You see them both kind of look at each other. There's this very brief moment where all that tension just vanishes as you almost see the two old men almost puzzling together in unison for a single moment over information. Before they look back at Ashran with the ring. Is it possible you'll leave that with us to study? If we can break the bind on this Morris, then maybe our own curse isn't as permanent as we think.
I don't
Right.
want to risk Morris's life.
How about this? Let's let him decide. Wait, no, I'm not in the room. Ignore me.
You're not in the room,
Yeah,
yeah?
yeah.
I mean, well,
Uh,
if you didn't say
I
exactly
imagine
what
that Dalmar can one-on-one consult
Ashton is 100% going to ask Morris, but I want to make sure that they're not going to like kill him
You do
and
see
get more information.
you do see Kasai's actually look at Lurie and goes, I assure you, risking any lives is not in the picture in this household.
Checking that statement.
I mean, he's
It
not- I
seems
trust
that
her.
while there is a lack of personal care in that instance, like he's the one not saying it. He's just saying it for out of respect. You do see that there is a depth of respect in that tone of voice that lures the one that's going to determine the rules.
if he was on his own, he wouldn't give a shit. But since we're in the house,
Pretty much.
Since he knows he's fucking dead if Lure kicks
when
him.
in Rome,
When you try not to die.
and I would even say what, yeah. Let Mars decide, because if they can do this, it might be a way for him to get back into his body also.
Yeah. Morris, you've been listening. What do you think?
I think, these two old men have history. A long, deep-seated history.
You
and
too?
That...
Same!
I would love to dwell on the subject, but unfortunately I know that I don't exactly have much words to say beyond that. Terrified. Terrified is my thoughts.
Okay. So no, you don't want to stay with them?
Well, if I only ever stopped at being terrified, I wouldn't have tried going to the Astral Sea in the first place. I feel very, very, very worried that this may turn out incredibly terrible, but if I am to be left in the hands of two elderly researchers who have been in the astral before and have no more of the astral than I probably will ever know in my lifetime, I would put my life in their palms or on their finger. Sorry. Just a lot.
That's fair. That's fair. So yes, you would like to stay.
I would like to not be experimented on, but I would also like to have my body back.
Okay.
It's a yes. It's a yes.
It's a yes. Oh, okay. Okay.
Us get clear consent.
Cassius, he says that he doesn't want to be experimented on, but he would like his body back, so I think it's a yes. It's a yes, right, Mars? 100%? You sure?
Unfortunately, there will have to be some degrees of prodding. I'll do my best to keep it from being painful, as he glances at Cassius.
I'll be gentle.
Yes. If I try saying anything else, I won't say any. I'll say anything but yes. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I hope that one day we will meet again, and you will be in your body.
Don't know how and don't know when, but someday we will meet again.
Yes. Goodbye,
A
Mars.
sunny day.
Thank you.
And one less soul in the party.
Caspering off.
Wow, we just cut our party soul count in half recently.
I know, right?
Yeah.
God
Not even
damn.
half. We have a fourth now.
And Lure does take the ring, and you do see him being very gentle with it, as he doesn't even clasp his hand around it. He just cups it, as if taking care of a small kitten even in his palm. I promise you, this will be something that, even if a failure, maybe we can prevent such a fate from any future unfortunate souls.
Hopefully. We also toyed with the idea of, if we can't get him back in his body, making him kind of like Lair.
You instantly see Cassius look at Lair and then look at you. You think yourself capable of crafting an automaton and then putting a soul within it?
No.
We can find someone who is.
But yes. We do have connections.
Ashford leans into Jack and whispers, "You don't think that when we brought Cassian back that Castian back that something came back with him, do you?"
I'm wondering if you remember what was said upon his return. Probably not, since it's not in your notes, because I'm pretty sure you were too emotionally charged.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right, I don't have anything There's literally just blank pages.
When giving over the cat spell crystal in order to have him revived, name's blanking on me in the moment, but the cleric said that something was missing of him, but he could substitute it.
And
Sh-
something
shit.
was missing. Didn't he substitute that with his own life force?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something had eaten away at his soul, essentially. How I interpret that.
Or there's a reverse version of him out there. He's got a Bizarro version.
Mushroom's gonna step outside and find Volmer.
Volmir is leaning against the door and he looks pissed.
I understand you're upset right now, but I'm gonna need you. Cast sending.
I do not have the spell slots for it.
Motherfuck.
I warned you.
Well, actually, no. It's been several days. You guys have long rested. World time's over.
No, we haven't.
Oh, we haven't.
We haven't long rested.
Oh
We
wait,
pushed
no, you
through
haven't.
both.
That's right. I'm dumb. Fine,
Yeah.
my bad. Yes, that's
Yeah,
right. You
we
guys
pushed
just
through.
kept pushing through. Right.
Okay, we got it. We gotta rest. As soon as you have spell slots, you need to message Castian. I need to know that it's him.
I will.
Yeah, something else that we dealt with the shard, and we're putting all eggs on the table at this point in time. We brought a soul back that was trapped inside of it.
I'm gonna go back inside.
Test it. That's what it was.
Test it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
I knew it started with a T, and I kept going like, tier, tire. No, those are just other D.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought back a soul that was trapped with it. And not all of the soul was there.
Trapped within what?
The shard.
The shard.
The astral shard.
Yes.
Yes.
We actually went inside of it ourselves. Killed off another soul.
Revived a soul from within the astral shard.
Yes.
So we shattered it. Wait, no, I'm gone.
Well, he went into a crystal as we were breaking the shard, and then we revived him from the crystal.
With a resurrection from a cleric to the Elmater. When he revived him, he said that there was
Something missing,
something missing,
but that he would substitute it.
which he did so with his own life force.
You see the both of them heavily puzzling possibilities, thoughts in some kinds of ways. Possibility that we didn't even dare humor to bring a soul out of the shard.
It took the soul needing something to house itself in, almost like a phylactery, for lack of a better term.
Don't mean in the sense of even thinking of how to do so. We simply have never humored the idea due to what we experienced and due to what this one experienced as he held the Ring of Mars. The idea of bringing something back from the astral is tentative at best. And if what you're saying is true, that you managed to pull a soul from the shard and bring it back, I don't mean to place more weight on your shoulders, but that individual is not as same as you may hope them to be.
Yeah. That's one thing we're worried about, but he is an apprentice to a very strong and kind of fucked up archmage. So if
But he's not with that Archmage anymore. He left. He's been traveling on his own. Yes, when we were there, Saramir said he wasn't there.
Yeah, Asher asked for him,
That's
and he
right.
said that he hasn't been there in a little while. He started to take his own travels.
And I told Sarah to the next time he heard from him, tell him to message me. And I haven't heard shit.
Yep.
That's right. We might need to just take a look in on him then.
Yep.
And I'll also pull out a cap spell crystal and be like, just so you guys have the information, this was what we had housed Solon.
It's been quite some years since I've laid eyes on Catspell. Hold on to that. That's quite rare.
Oh,
In fact, the chunk you have in your hand is quite large as it is. Damn it, you.
Don't even want to mention the, giant one we just sold.
Literally, that was coming out of my mouth before I said giggity. We did have one about this tall and this big.
Big?
You remember the funny one, Vanilla from earlier? Yeah, it was as big as her.
Did you come back in?
No, sadly, because I'm still pissed. I just want to make jokes.
Yeah, we actually did sell that one to.
You did in this fucking city.
That's right.
No, it wasn't in this
No,
city.
it was in Bullenzar.
No.
Was it in Bullseye?
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
just
sell
there.
it. I think it was
Brindaki
in
Yeah,
Bullenzar.
magic.
of the Component Wonders in Bullenzar.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Also, the tattoo artist also is like, because you basically told him, it's like, hey, work with the tattoo artist. He's like, oh, he's gonna need my help.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
Yep.
There
Because
was
any of the
tension
excess dust
there.
can be sold off to the fucking
Yeah.
But yeah, we sold that one to him for 100k gold.
Was a
Something
lot.
on there.
I know what it was. I'm just saying I'm doing that in game, like quite a bit. Yeah, Brindok is good person. But yeah, we found where those crystals come from, but
As in its origin point.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's just say it's on
Not
another
a lot.
demi-plane. And finding it is one in a million?
Accidental at best.
Yeah.
On a demi-plane. That can't be.
I don't think we found the origin point, more like a point where they're common.
Well,
You see a lot of puzzling going through Kasai's mind in that instant.
Let's just say you're probably not going to be able to find.
Well, they could probably find it. The hard part's getting back.
Well, no, the hard part's even finding it in the first place.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
That
like,
was just a random ass thing.
yeah. Out of game, it's that random story of that light or whatever. That like when we find it
Yeah,
one
I
time, it's
remember
in
how we got
another.
there.
It's
Yeah.
a whole another location now, somewhere else.
Tanya wished that even the mistress of the island, she was like, it's easier to find us once you already know where we're at. But it's kind of like, but we don't know where you're at.
Let's also just say that trying to leave the place is kind of a bitch, also. So, yeah. A lot
Maybe
of
worth
people.
going back eventually, though.
It would be nice to go back. Nice to.
If you ever do, if you don't mind, a +1.
If only while we were there, he'd be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Let's just say that one, we probably won't be going back anytime soon, and two, they don't like random guests all the time, I guess, would be the best way to put it. A high chance of death on that or that place.
Welcome to Borisland.
Oh, it's worse than Borisland.
As strange demiplanes go to usually be.
Yeah.
That is a worry for a future date, as we have much to do already currently on our plate.
Yeah. 1 second. And I'm gonna get up and go outside real quick. Ulmer,
Yep,
can you
Jack.
do me a favor and scry on
What?
Castian?
Orb is still available.
I will scry on Castian.
He's next to another fucking body that we know. I'm gonna be pissed.
Scrying on Castian, what happens?
I'm gonna have a fucking meltdown.
He's walking around with Essig.
Break down.
I would say you know the target well, both with Ashton and after those experiences.
I'd fucking hope so! Motherfucker almost
I
killed us
saved
so many
that man.
times.
Actually, no, it's only secondhand information. You never met the real Castian. You met the fake Castian that's out to kill you now.
Yeah.
We saved that man's life. I better know him well.
We've seen him naked.
On multiple occasions.
Oh yeah, we all have.
What's your safe?
Let me check on that real quick.
It's either on the
That's
dot
15.
or right below.
17.
Right below. As you cast Scry, focusing on your target of Castian himself, appearing in what seems to be a not exactly decrepit ship, but one that's a little bit on the ragged side of things.
Is it familiar? Nah.
Not really. Nah. It's kind of too generic, and plus the 10-foot range doesn't give you enough detail on what the ship says. Can't even see the sails or anything like that. Any true identifying marks of any kind. To which you just...
It was our pirate friends.
Oh, I know. It wasn't. It's not the Golden Sun.
Yeah, that ship wouldn't be decrepit. Come on.
No. Cardum takes very good care of it, especially after you guys got him a fucking payday.
Yes, we did.
But you simply watch as he is leaning over what seems to be the railing of the ship, just overlooking in the distance the crashing waves that are well beyond your vision of scrying. But notably, you do see him that he seems to have a bit of nondescript clothing. Very much no longer in the refined or ragged wizard's clothes and garb that he used to wear before when he was in his undead form and after finally getting cleaned up and being beneath Saramir yet again. Alongside with a cloak and hood, but he doesn't have the hood on at the moment. That almost makes him look like he's a bit of a rapscallion of sorts. And while watching him for a couple minutes is nothing of the sort, you do eventually hear someone call for him in the distance. Seems to be a female voice of some kind. To which, as you follow the track going along, you would eventually see him with another individual, seemingly sitting around a barrel in the center, alongside with 3 other individuals. One of which, unlike the rest of them that are much more covert and less visible, is a very familiar orc in heavy armor.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you, KTK.
I love you, KTK.
No!
Ash gets trauma 2.0 now. You thought your crush was alive. Now he's
That
dead again. Well, not dead.
Heartfelt moment, all for fucking nothing.
Not for nothing. He's back.
No, it's all for nothing because we gotta kill
He
him
just
again.
came back not the same.
No!
Ash sounds like she's about to cry.
I imagine at that point is when Jack can easily see the tension on Volmer's face instantly return.
And Jack already knows.
And as Volmer, I imagine you're gonna keep watching. I imagine you're not gonna cut the TV there.
Yeah. I'm letting it play out.
You would see as the other two individuals, one of them also has their hood down, but the other one still has it up. So the woman and one man still have their hoods up. Give me a perception check real quick.
Perception with disadvantage. Oh, hell of a time to get a nat 20.
But hey, still a good roll at the end of the day. With a 21, while there is some differences, and you can't quite explain as to how or why they are different in a way. The bald head, but lack of scars. You can still see that there is a uncanny, almost irrevocably deniable resemblance to a certain man with a bow staff that had already taken your friend's life. Now, as you eventually hear a voice kind of perk up from the group, as a familiar voice of Essig goes through. We're gonna be arriving in a bit of a while. Less than a day's travel. We have some conversations to cover. There's a lot of things to do and a lot to find. But we're after one thing and one thing only. We're gonna find something that was already found that we need to rediscover. Unfortunately, now that we no longer have our information source, this is gonna be a lot more difficult. To which you hear kind of Cassian perk up, goes, if you're gonna beat around the bush, then please just get to the point. Fine, I'll get to it. We're looking for a stone. About the size of, say, 2 fists. Black. Unassuming if it wasn't for all the etched symbols around it. There's gonna be a bit of a weird sensation to it. I can't quite describe it any other way. After all, it's just something that was only secondhand information from a certain insane gnome. Now that he is gone, we're gonna have to go with this on our own information. Our own eyes and ears. To which you hear the woman perk up. And as much closer in range, you also recognize that voice, Volmer. As she continues to speak.
The bitch!
If we're going to be looking for something like this, don't you think we'd need something more of a better location? As you remember a familiar voice coming from a certain Medusa.
Oh? Wait. No!
Yes, I know. I wish we were working on better info. However, the island in question already is going to be uninhabited, so all we have to look for is ruins of some kind, or more accurately, if you find some place that looks a little bit too overgrown, could be a hint in the question. And you do hear the bald man, the one with the bow stab, perk up. It will not be something that will be difficult to find. Simply look for the markings of war. After all, this was once a battleground. That individual that already collected before surely had to go through many things to collect it again. And there you go! More information! Use your heads a little bit. And we'll all get what we want and what we need, and we can all return to our happy little lives as we plan to. As the conversation goes on, you just hear more little bits and detail of them arguing with one another on exactly how they're going to go about to do things before eventually 10 minutes does end and you are pulled back to your vision.
Well, I think, well, can I just basically, bit by bit, explain it to Jack?
Yes.
Well, I knew he was going to be with them. But why the fuck is she there?
Yeah, of all the people, I was not expecting her.
They attacked her and stole from her. Why the hell would she join them? That stone they're looking for. Is that the one the mistress has? Should have?
Does that sound familiar? Like, does
No.
that sound like the same?
The one that that Corveus had, and now the mistress has, was nothing more than a palm-sized stone.
And they're fucking on a boat right now, heading to an island, which... Okay. We have more problems. I'll say this louder so everyone can hear.
As you're saying that from the doorway, you do kind of see Cassius and Lur, who are mostly in conversation of what future plans they'll have, and many a times Cassius offers a bit of a harsher attempt at prodding at Mars's condition, while Lur tries to make it softer and very much puts that poignant, demanding tone in his voice of like, we'll do it this way so it doesn't do anything harmful to our subject and whatnot, over and over again, until eventually Jack's voice is the one that comes interrupting about having war issues.
Add Volmer Scry on Castian.
Oh shit.
He's with Essig. But it's even worse than that. For some reason, and again, is it Raya or Rai? Or
Raya.
Raya. Raya's with them.
It's what?
I don't know. They are on a boat heading to some island, uninhabited island that has ruins and stuff, looking for some stone size of 2 fists.
Can you describe the stone any further?
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much describe everything that Volmer would have told me. And
Delmar, that stone sounds a little too familiar.
What?
It was the briefest of glances that you got before a manic goblin trap went off and made it vanish in front of your eyes.
Player is very confused. What?
When you and
It was a
Corveus
long time ago.
were... Yeah, it was a very long time ago. When you and Corveus were given something that you both convinced Gorbil that you were the friends of Erikil, and he booby-trapped a box without telling you what was inside. You guys got it open, but unfortunately did not undo the trap because it was a fucking mosh posh of bullshit. The one vision that you got was of a stone about 2 fist-sized large, looked like nothing special if it wasn't for a bunch of symbols that glowed when a potion was dropped on it, and it vanished on you.
Mosh posh of bullshit.
Interesting. Okay.
it was that goblin that fucking Corveus hated that we had to
Yep.
save. Corveus wanted to kick him out of the goddamn cart because he's so annoying.
Yeah, because he had no fucking social ineptitude.
He had like a 2
I mean, he had
charisma.
plenty of social ineptitude.
Where did
The
that box?
absolute betrayal that Ashrin is feeling right now.
Yeah, because
You
two
know.
people we cared about.
That stone
I
sounds
bought
familiar.
her tea! And I gave her one of my smart books!
Dalmar, you said the stone seems familiar.
Yeah. A while ago, we were transporting a box from a goblin. I really wanted to get inside of it. I failed, sort of. I opened it up, but I saw a stone of that description briefly, and then it disappeared.
Okay.
The character is going to describe where we were taking it, but the player has no memory of this. So,
Okay.
like, oh yeah, it was going to wherever
It was
that is.
supposed.
It was being transported to Erical in Sandbury, which was the guy you guys were going to kill because you're like, hey, we just needed his location. Thank you so much. Real quick,
I will
Wilmer, give me
describe
intelligence check.
what I remember of that.
Even if I'm not in the
event
room?
where it went.
Yes, because I imagine at this point, Jack either has the door open or you are listening in a little bit.
Yeah, door's open.
Yeah.
Wilmer continues to contemplate killing a man, but he's
His mind is kind of
pissed.
yeah. He is kind of
We
taken in
shouldn't be
that
talking
moment.
about this with the door open. Everyone come inside.
No thanks. I think I'm gonna go find us an inn.
Come inside.
Dalmar, out of character, I'm gonna say if Volmir goes in there, I make no promises he will not stab that man.
I don't think Dalmar cares.
I'm gonna grab Volmer. I'm gonna look at him. I get it. Not the time or the place. But it's something we need to discuss as a group.
Volmir's just gonna sigh, and he's just gonna walk in and lean against a wall and keeping on.
Oh, he's gonna do the emo like glare pout in the corner.
Glare pout in the corner. That is
Yeah,
He's gonna do the emo glare pout with a big ass sword, a fucking the gaudy ass flower wing boots, and the
guy
crown.
from every like fucking.
Yep. But he
And
looks
for
so
some
fucking
reason-
ostentatious.
He looks fabulous.
Okay, to be fair, Volmir does wear a cloak, so all that's visible is the crown. So he's wearing like this like fur coat and then a crown, and he's just
With his
staring
hood
at
up.
this fucker.
He's got
Someone
his hood
needs
up
to
in the
draw
corner.
this.
Yes.
Someone
Put
needs
it
to
up.
draw this scene. B. Dalmar's this close to going tough and calling you Twinkle Toes.
Oh my god.
Twinkle. Oh, that.
Just for safety measures, Jack's gonna put a binding on Cassius.
Cassius.
Cassius, sorry. God damn it.
Just in case Volmir tries to stab
Define
someone.
binding.
In case Volmer tries to stab him, Jack's taking.
Oh,
half
your
a day.
bond. Oh, your bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing
Your
my bond.
bond. Okay. I was like
Maintaining one on
binding.
One on Cassius.
Okay. All right.
Just in
Well-
case.
Volmir, see, the thing is, I considered punching him earlier, but I
Oh,
don't know if he has
absolutely.
I don't know if he has character levels, and Volmir's kind of fucking strong.
Also,
So there's
like,
the fear of
from
I might one
Dalmar's
tap this man.
perspective, like, yeah, he did a bad thing, but you're talking about a man's past. Like,
We've
Yeah.
all done bad things
he
in our
didn't do
past.
this yesterday.
Not to mention, how many lives have we ended because they were on the wrong side? And you're talking about going to war. You can't go to war without killing people.
Now, Volmir, though, there's a level of this wasn't a fight, this was science, and he hid it from colleagues who.
I was gonna say, I think the biggest issue is the fact that he knew this info and hid it. I think that's the
And
biggest hit
that,
for
like,
yeah.
people who wouldn't do like. Imagine if you took someone to like a shooting range, and you give them a gun, and then they shoot the target. On the other side was a person they didn't know.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I don't know if you played the game Medal of Honor, Volmer, but there's a level in there where you have to have a white phosphorus attack go down.
Oh, I
on a-
fucking remember that level.
Yep,
I
on
tried
a,
so hard to avoid that shit.
It
Yep.
it is ridiculous. you have to drop white phosphorus on a bunker of enemies, and it's like, okay, that's a bunker full of enemies. But what they weren't told by command was that bunker full of enemies was there because they were sheltering a shit ton of civilians.
Which
So
is
when you
kinda-
walk through that, by the way, they force you to walk through that bunker to secure that there's nobody alive. You are forced to walk through that with women and children covered in white phosphorus.
Oh damn!
Yep.
It is a brutal level.
I mean, that's war.
It is war. It is a brutal level,
War.
but it's so dark, but it's so good.
I mean, and then to kind of put another example of this, like what they do with the magic and the experimenting and science, like the amount of shit we've done worse shit than that to just advance our own medical science. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
we've done worse shit than that. Think about their uranium girls.
I don't know.
Those companies covered up the fact after they found out that the uranium was toxic and causing cancer.
Yeah.
The companies covered up the fact. These girls were worked in the factories and were told to lick their brushes to make them pointy.
Yep.
So that when they painted the numbers on the watches, they would look nice. They were ingesting uranium paint,
Yep, it's just like
and the companies covered it up.
uranium.
You know what I heard
is-
today?
First
I haven't
history.
verified this. I haven't verified this, but this is worth looking into. Supposedly, during World War II, there was a pharmaceutical company that received 150 women for medical experimentation. 3 months after they received these women, they wrote back to the Third Reich saying, "Thank you for sending these women. They were in good health. They are all dead. Please send 150 more." And they received 150 more. This company is now Bayer, who
Yes.
now sells
Really?
meds today. Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
I
I
will have to do some research into that. Oh my
and you wanna-
god.
History.
Wait, hold on. You want more fun interactions in World War II? So there was a company that wrote that helped the Nazi regime find out the locations of the Jews during World War II. That company is now IBM. Also, look into who designed SS uniforms. That is now a major fashion brand today.
I was gonna say, I think I know that one. I think that one I heard before. It's like, ooh.
The dude's name escapes my memory in this moment, but do you remember KTK? Who was it?
I don't know that info. I don't know. I just know the fact it's like this company made the SS uniform. I was like,
Yeah.
history.
Yeah, so I don't like it, but you know,
Yeah.
shit happens. I do agree that the whole finding lure and Bulmer's grandfather to this shit also is fucked. I get that. That's the part that I think Jack's annoyed with too. But anyway,
Yeah, Lure and Cassius are looking kind of intrigued on what has just transpired.
something else that we've been looking at. And Jack's just gonna kind of give the whole spiel about the bestowed of the fallen. He's just gonna.
Well,
tell
we're
them
letting them.
everything.
Wait. We're letting them know.
Yeah, at this point in time, I mean, Jack trusts Lore, and at this point in time, they know what we're dealing with. We know what they're dealing with. Share information. Because
And after giving a
tied together with Castian, so
and while tying up all of the rough
long
edge
story.
notes, yeah,
And multiple pots of tea later.
there is a bit of a poignant silence to it all, but Cassius is the one who kind of speaks up first and goes, "That is something. That is quite troublesome. And while something of that degree is beyond our purview, I think I speak for Lur in this instance. And you do seem kind of like have to say that as careful as possible. If there's anything that we can aid in this goal, we will do our best. I am indebted to you saving me, and I'm sure Lur will do it out of the kindness of his heart. And quite possibly to continue having allies like yourselves, trustworthy and loyal.
Appreciate it. I bring this up mostly because at this point in time, these two things are now connected. Between Essig, Castian, we know what they've been looking for. This is why I share this information. And I also ask that this information is on a need-to-know basis.
Of course, as you heard my estranged colleague say, I don't give names.
This is worse than the Astral Shard at this point in time.
That is a matter of perspective and, well, goals.
Not compare traumas, guys.
I mean, I think having a deity that has ill intent on this side of the Divine Gate, I don't know.
I think the bigger fear is the factor of if what we fear is true, that something else is within that body of this Essig. That's an astral entity that we're speaking about, trying to attain some divine power of sort.
That's true.
I dearly hope that that is not the case scenario, but regardless, you are correct. Something or someone is attempting a form of divine power recollection.
Yeah. The other thing I'm worried about is if Jen gets, somehow, if Jen gets involved with them, that's going to be an issue. I'll just give a quick brief on that scenario. Yeah. Quick. Yep. The shivering quiff.
Asher, don't pull a Marisha.
Shivering quiff. Can't do it. But yeah, I'll break that scenario, that situation down so they understand that this is another aspect of it.
You do sure find yourselves into a pool of trouble now, don't you?
We didn't ask for it.
I wonder if maybe you can help expedite a one problem before we go deal with another. I was going to look for a man named Ibrahim. We think that's where I got these powers from. They're becoming more and more unstable, and I'm not in any shape to be helpful. Is there anything you guys can think of that would lessen the instability, or do you know this Ibrahim?
You do see Cassius's eyes almost instantly register with the name. Unfortunately, I do. I will say, though, that if that's where you got your powers from, that is highly unfortunate. As for possibly in restraining it, And you do kind of look at Lur in that moment. It was a hypothetical passion project from one of our colleagues that we may be able to revive. And you even see Lur kind of give him like a bit of a wide eye. He goes like, I don't know if that's the wisest decision. I won't go into detail of this, Abraham, but if a monkey's paw could achieve a rabbit's foot and pervert it. That's what this man does. He will always make it seem like it's the greatest deal in the world before, well, the perversion comes out. We can look into something of ours then. That colleague has passed, but mayhaps his notes still exist somewhere. We'll see what we can do. I will preface, though, that the method of his control when it came to the chaotic magics of, well, the astral in our profession was not exactly comfortable, if I may be so forward.
Understandable.
We'll see to it to possibly make it a bit more comfortable in that instance.
I'm not worried about comfortable.
Given your attire, I feel like you wouldn't want to walk around with a collar around your throat.
I don't care.
Jack just gets us.
I fucking you shut up.
Just looking for some
Well, if
change.
you're into that.
We'll do our research, and we'll get back to you in time. Well, it looks to me like we have busy nights ahead of us.
Question though, that island that you found this ritual at, is it still there?
You see Cassius look at Lur. Did you tell them the same old story? Of course. Unless you want to tell them the real one. What reasoning would you have to return to the island, if I may ask?
Finding more information on what all this is like. Essentially information gathering. I'm very curious to see what is there, see if there's any clues to our predicaments also.
I wonder if it's the same island.
It also, yeah, could be some island that we've been to before. Just. In our
I
line
would
of
dearly
work-
hope you have not been to an island of this sort. The Tilterral Sea is known as the Neglected Waves for a reason.
Oh, we. Sorry. It. Again,
It wasn't Totaro, so no.
with the things we need to do, having as much information as possible is the best course of action.
Make a persuasion check. You see Laura kind of contemplate for a good amount of time before eventually you do see just a... I don't think you'd find anything of the sort linked to your predicament on the island. But if you are so inclined as to go so far and quite possibly risk your life in that instance,
And
it is within the Tilterral Sea, the Neglected Waves, but you will have to go southern of the continent itself. Its exact position is a bit more difficult to pinpoint, though mostly due to the fact that we were quite assured that the island was not exactly drifting is the term. It almost felt as though the island itself was shifting on its own. Though at the very least, it is a large landmass and it can't possibly be moving too far. If it's moving at all. Anyone who has been to that sea may or may not know of the Amage Islands.
Bells ringing?
A mage.
Yeah. Anything pop up in brains?
Not that you could think of. There's a reason why it's called the neglected waves. That's because most people don't even really think about those waters. Mostly due to the fact that, if you think about it, you remember, no one really comes out of that happy. Most ships that go for expedition tend to not return, and most ships that go out there knowing a destination tend to come back either beat to shit or with half their crew dead.
How long did it take you to get to the island?
About a month's worth of seafaring, but that was also due to the fact that we were traveling at random. We merely had nothing more than a name and a rough location. At the very least, if we give you something more of a better heading, you could possibly arrive there in under 2 weeks. Presuming the island movement is not as wild as you would hope.
It's just something to add to our list of places to check out, because we have found in our travels that ancient ruins sometimes hold information you wouldn't think would be there. So, you never know. Speaking of islands, wasn't there like an island of light y'all were told about a long time ago?
Yes, but that's not
Yeah.
Forgotten Sea.
Yeah, was that to the north?
It was to
East.
the northeast, yes.
Have either of you two heard about that island or been there?
Island where it's always sunny and day.
Off the coast of Coachella.
You would see Cassius kind of perk up and then goes, oh, yes, I have. That's stupid. Well, to call it a rumor would be incorrect. To call it a honeypot would be more accurate. Many lives sent to search for that island, many lives never to return. And those that do only tell about what kinds of things they came across there. Many a people were sent there thinking that it was a holy land, the last of the holy lands in all of Borisland's waters. But I feel as though the deaths that none of them returned from started to temper those ideas. If you're so inclined to go and research as to what the island was exactly meant to be for, or maybe even search as to why it is in perpetual sunlight, be my guest. Tamura is nothing more than a lure.
So we're going to Coachella Tamura.
You said it was on the northeast, right?
We're going to Coachella.
Coachella's to the west.
We're up.
So it'll be off to the off Principality of Linnea. Farther. Okay. Just curious, since it was
What?
brought up a long time ago, and we were told to maybe check that out. But with this being said,
No, it's not that direction. It's the other direction. It's off Coachella.
Yes, northwest. Never eat soggy waffles. Yes, northwest.
Okay.
Yes, because that's where we tracked Essig to. We thought he was
Yes.
going that direction.
I still need to do my stupid code thing.
But we
I'm
were
bad at
also-
Cardinals.
Thinking the middle of the
At
ocean
birds? How is one bad at
Uh,
birds?
because of Jack's vision.
I'm terrible
Yeah.
at birds, motherfucker.
The ocean. I thought
Yes.
that's why we thought they were going that direction.
Mhm.
No.
Okay, so northwest. Northwest, off Coachella.
Yes, never eat soggy waffles.
Never eat
Never
shredded
eat
wheat.
Santa's wife.
Never eat shredded what?
Wheat. Yeah, that was just how we learned it over here.
I'm sorry. Volmer, did you just say never eat Santa's wife?
I was wondering if someone picked up on that.
That's why I shook my head. I'm like, wait. I heard the wheat part. Did I hear the other part?
Yep. I was trying to gloss
So-
over it.
My class was tasked with making up our own versions of that, so...
Never eat Santa's wife. Yep.
Oh
never
my
eat Santa's
god.
wife. 'Cause we were dumb kids. It was like 3rd grade. We didn't know any better.
You did on 3rd grade?
Yeah.
I
Actually, no,
was-
second. Sorry.
I'm in shock.
Yeah. But see, second grade back then, they're thinking actual eating, not.
I know, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, is that like
They
that's
also probably did that unit right around Christmas time.
absolutely.
We did. That's exactly
Yep.
why it came up.
Oh,
Making
yay.
a list, you check it twice, and if you eat his wife, you're on the naughty list.
I mean, Santa does like his ho ho ho's, so.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Okay.
Oh
So-
fuck, that's a beautiful quote. Never eat Santa's wife because he likes his ho-ho.
But having a name for the Light Island, is there anything else you would like to discuss with Lur and Cassius in the moment before they set out to their dues and you your own?
I'm thinking we should let the council that Keely is trying to the shard.
The council or Trillion?
Well, Trillion's part of the council.
Do
The
you trust
council
him?
knew about the shard itself, right? Or was it just Trillion?
No, the council knew.
Yeah. So since they already know about it, I mean, Calfod's right across the fucking water from the Geely Empire.
Good point.
So it would probably be smart to let them know. I'm guessing this isn't like color coded to the nations itself. So like this is actually Keely Empire.
Actually, no,
Nope.
it is color code to the Empire.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that is part of
Yeah.
Principality of Jacket.
Yes.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's even more interesting.
Yep.
They got that little tiny one over there.
They do
Why do
have
they
that
keep
little nub.
that?
I mean, it's
They
just
have
like
their little nub.
it's just like all the parts that are cut off for the U.S. where it's water, and you have to go like into Canada, back into the U.S. to go shopping and back. There's like 3 or 4 places like that. I think they should know at least, just to prepare. Being so close, anyways. Yeah. I mean, what do you guys think?
I could agree to
I
that.
mean, if you trust him, if you think.
I mean, Laura, what do you think?
Personally, I don't think that they'd give a rat's ass.
Fair enough.
Well, if you don't think they'll care, then fuck them.
I'm going to say is that when you were tasked in retrieving my shard, they only sent one of the representatives. Couldn't even be bothered to send a second. And on top of that, if you were to ever look at a map, you would notice that they have worked out some sort of deal with the Keely Empire, one way or another.
Yeah.
That's how they get to keep their tiny nub.
Yeah, okay. So, fuck them then. At that point in time. Oh. Yeah. A lot of bullshit. But if you guys ever come across any information that might pertain to anything we've told you about, let us know. If we find anything astral related, we'll try to send it your way too.
And we will do our best to work on this project of, I say this with kindness, reconstructing your ally within the ring.
Yeah. Hopefully we can find some way to sever all of these bonds, the astral, for lack of a better term.
I would dearly hope so as well. But with that said and done, unless you have anything else you would like to discuss or do within Lur's little humble home of sorts,
Until Cassius. No more stupid shit.
I've never once done anything stupid in my life.
I
Questionable.
Check.
Sir?
Make an insight check.
I'm just gonna flat look at him.
Oh no, he's fine.
He is so straight faced in that instance.
What happened?
I told him no more stupid shit, and he said, I've never done anything stupid in my life.
Who's he?
Cassius.
Ah,
I'm like,
You're
sir?
saving a life.
No.
I think
Volmir has effectively saved a life today
by not killing Cassius.
by not killing Cassius. Yeah.
Fair enough. I think at this point, we all need to go rest since
Yeah.
we've been awake for like 72 hours.
Yep.
I'm gonna,
You are pushing it.
make sure to shake hands and everything, and as I shake hands with Laura, I'm gonna make sure I pump a couple removed diseases.
Are you making sure they're clean in case they decide to go bone later?
No, make sure he's healthy so he doesn't fucking die from some random ass disease. He is an old human.
I would like to think that you do that one day to a very old man who's just a heavy ass drinker. You cure him of his addiction so his body gives up. Like Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh god. Yeah.
Wait, what cure disease? Fix addiction?
No, I'm just saying, is that because Ozzy Osbourne was a man who was so prolific in drinking and doing drugs that the doctors literally said his body is literally dependent on it now. If you take that shit away from him, his body will shut down in withdrawal.
Part of that also was also the stuff that was prescribed to him normally.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor fucked up on the dosage, was giving him 2 or 3 times his normal dosage, and that's why he couldn't talk normal, was because of that.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so his like
Did they
drunk,
fix that?
they brought back down the dosage and he can communicate better, but like
Oh.
he was on that level of dosage for
Years.
fucking 10, 15 years, and it fucked with him completely.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But with your goodbyes having been said,
Well,
are you sleeping in Caliphate in an inn, or is there something else you have planned for that?
Good man.
We're getting in.
I'm gonna teleport everyone to Wick Camp.
What?
Why?
Why? No!
I just wanted to say it.
I love that idea. It was like, all right, we're all tired, we're all exhausted. Go to my hometown where I'm a wanted felon.
In
Should've
fact,
said
I'm
Joey.
gonna teleport everyone to my old home that I own. Technically.
Yeah, fuck that. Nope.
Or
Finding
used
it
to.
in. You're getting some rest, because up for 3 days or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
A middle
it
line
is
inn will
bedtime.
run you at 3 gold piece a room, as you see fit.
Do we have that much gold?
That is the question. If you want to go for a lower end inn, it's only 7 silver.
The 3
I
gold
will
per room.
pay for mine and Jack's room for the night.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have like 60 gold.
I have enough gold. You said it was 3?
I'm still the poorest in the group.
You always have been, Jack. Nothing has changed.
Because they keep
I
giving
imagine the
away all
group
my
would,
gold.
like,
Yeah, you
do.
need to stop doing that. Jack's
I like to think
a
that
rich
the,
kid who was cut off but is living the exact same lifestyle.
yeah, kinda.
I mean, like, Jack's just trying to help people.
But with the party finally able to lay down, even though it's still very early in the morning, just barely half midday, or barely to midday in essence. As you all finally get to lay down on soft beds, know that there is a meal possibly waiting for you after a dinner and whatnot. To finally get yourselves long rest to get rid of your exhaustion. We'll pick up with that next week.